All right, now let's go ahead and do one with tangent. Now this one's completely different because this one, they're giving us our angles. So they're giving us an alpha and a beta, and they're giving us some ratios using trigonometric functions, sine of A and cosine of B. So we're gonna have to attack this one a little bit differently. And the way that we're gonna do that is rather than evaluating using the unit circle, we're actually gonna create the triangles. So let's just draw these triangles. Now these triangles are within some restrictions. All right, so rather than using degrees, which you did in this last problem, we're actually, you can see they're restricted within radians. So we have, if here's 0, pi halves, pi, 3 pi halves, and then all the way around would be 2 pi. All right, so this angle A is going to be between pi halves and pi. So that's going to be in what we call the second quadrant. Okay, and again, remember sine is opposite over adjacent, so it's going to be 8 over 17. Is that going to be 15? I forgot my thing. I forgot to 17 squared using the little Pythagorean theorem minus 64 is going to be 15. Yep, okay. So then using the Pythagorean theorem, we can get that to be 15. Now again, be careful though, because since it's in the second quadrant, right, what else do we also know? We also know that it's going to be a negative, right? Because it's, you're going to the left. Now over here we have B, and that is in between 3 halves and pi, 2 pi, I'm sorry. So that's going to be over here. Okay, so we'll call that angle B. And then we have 5 over 13, and then this is a Pythagorean triple, at least I remember. I didn't remember the other one. And nope, sorry. That's going to be 13. That means that's going to be 12. But again, since we're going down, right, that's going to be that's the 13. That's going to be a negative 12. So it's very important that you understand these restrictions, because if you look at this on a coordinate grid, in the second quadrant, the horizontal is negative, and in the fourth quadrant, the vertical is negative, right? And that makes all the difference. Now, the tangent formula for the sum and difference is going to be, if I remember correctly, let's see here. So I have A plus B. So that's going to be the tangent of A plus the tangent of B, all divided by 1 minus tangent of A times tangent of B. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to remember that, so let's look at if I got that correct. A plus, yep, awesome, I got it. Okay, so now all we're simply going to do, it just says evaluate, right? So all we're simply going to do now is just plug in our tangent for our A and our B based on these two triangles. And again, be careful with the negatives. So in this first one here, we have tangent of A, so that's going to be 8 over negative 15. Okay, and that's going to be plus a tangent over here, which is going to be negative 12 over 15, or negative 12 over 5. All right, and that's going to be all over 1 minus, and then we have, let's say, a negative. Let's put the negative on the bottom, but it doesn't really matter where the negative is, but whatever. So I'll do 8 over negative 15 times a negative 12 over 5. Okay, so now let's go ahead and simplify this. Okay, so if I was going to combine like terms here, I could go ahead and get a common denominator, right? So that's going to give me a negative 8 over 15. And let's see, that's going to be plus a what? A negative 36. Negative 36 over 15. And then if I multiply these, doesn't look as well. That's going to be 80, 96. I don't really want to add that, but let's, all right. That's 80, so that's what, 96, so it's 1. Now, negative times negative is a positive, so that's going to be 1 minus a 96. And that's going to be over a 75. Okay. Now, you could just multiply a 15 on the top of everything, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and simplify this fraction a little bit further. There's a couple different ways you could probably do this, and I'm not sure if my way is going to be the fastest, but I'll just say my way. What I'm about to do here is the one that would kind of make at least the most amount of sense to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine my fractions up top, and so therefore that's a negative 44, and if I'm making a mistake, please let me know. So that's going to be negative 44, and then I'm going to do a 75 over 75 minus a 96 over 75. All right, and that's going to be a, let's see, a negative 21 over 75. And then now you can see that what I have is a fraction divided by another fraction. So when you have a fraction divided by another fraction, you can just multiply by the reciprocal, right? So that's going to be the same thing as negative 44 over 15 times a 75 over negative 21. All right, and now you can see that 15 goes into 75. Let's see, that's going to be 5 times. Right? And let's see, 44 times 5 divided by 21. That's not going to be, I think that's going to be it. Yeah. All right. So then if I multiply this, that's not a negative. Please let me know, guys, if you're checking my work. So I am getting a negative 220 over 21. That's a negative or a negative, actually, so that should be a positive. And that's what I have. Yeah.